What about working as an EMT prior to going to nursing school? This was actually a Hey Sean question from a high school student who has a plan in place and is interested in gaining as much experience as possible in the field of healthcare, and wants to know what my thoughts are on becoming an EMT while going to nursing school, or EMT first and then becoming a nurse. I have a blanketed answer, not only if you choose to be an EMT, but also if you choose to become a nurse's aide or a CNA prior to entering and becoming a nurse. Now hold on. No way am I saying that a CNA is the same thing as an EMT or a paramedic. Nope. Don't be putting words in my mouth. I'm simply saying that any kind of education and training in the healthcare field, in the world of medicine, any additional training is beneficial. Doesn't matter what it is, it's beneficial. But it will only get you so far. For instance, we're going to talk about EMT training. Now, I've never been an EMT, I've never been a paramedic. I only have an outsider's view of the paramedicine world. I actually know quite a number of EMTs and paramedics throughout my entire life, let alone as a nurse and a nurse practitioner. Their education and training is very different, yet it's still based in the emergency world. So they all have to learn basic anatomy and physiology. You gotta learn everything there is about, protocols, basic life support, advanced life support. You're going to have a basic working knowledge of working physiology in the human body. You don't have to take an anatomy and physiology collegiate course, but in order to care for individuals in the world of the pre-hospital system paramedicine, you're going to have to know where the heart is, how it, you're going to have, I can only assume, and I hope I'm not offending any EMTs or paramedics, can only assume you have to go through a pretty rigorous educational and training course. I don't know what that involves. I know that there's steps to becoming an EMT. There's like EMT A and B, and maybe there's a C and D, and then you have to be an EMT before you can become a paramedic, and you have to take the paramedics course and the CERT exam. So I imagine that basic EMT courses has a lot to do with emergency medicine pre-hospital training. All of that is very beneficial when you have an interest and you have a goal of becoming a nurse, because all of those things are going to lay the foundation for what you're going to learn when you go to nursing school. It's not going to give you a leg up. It's not going to make nursing school easier. It's simply going to make the transition less stressful. There are things that you're going to be very familiar with that others who have no healthcare medical training are going to be very unfamiliar, and it will be a source of stress. Learning how to take a blood pressure, operating a blood pressure cuff, being able to give a subcutaneous injection, listening to heart sounds and breath sounds and basic life support pieces of the puzzle. So, the long-winded answer, big surprise, the long-winded answer to the question is there is absolutely no negative aspect to becoming an EMT prior to going to nursing school. As always, check your own pulse first.